special intro music, only reserved for special episodes of SlashU. That's right, this is a special episode. We're outside the norm this week. Nick's out of town on a road trip, and I am here all alone. And so there's we're not going to do the normal where we talk about a movie and recap it and spoil the whole thing and make fun of it. Oh, by the way, this is SlashU. I'm Andy. Nick's not with us this week. Like I said, he's out of town. We're going to do a little bit of a clip show, just a walk down memory lane. I chose 3 of my favorite movies that we've watched, and I asked Nick, hey, what are your 3 favorite movies that we've watched, and he gave them to me. So we're just going to do, a little best of, a little bit of a sprinkling of those 6 episodes, 3 from him, 3 from me. We'll go through some highlights and some funny moments from those episodes. Some of them are going to be quite old, all the way back to season 1 of SlashU, so that's cool. Walk down memory lane. And if you're new to the show, we typically talk about a cheesy, campy, sometimes forgotten slasher movie, and we just pick it apart and make fun of it and try to educate you about the movie. That's why it's called SlashU, as in university. Follow us on Instagram, at @SlashU_podcast. Check out the Facebook page as well, SlashU Podcast. You can email us, slashupodcast@gmail.com, and the website, slashupodcast.com. Go to the Buy Stuff page. Click any of those links, take you to Amazon. You're going to buy something off Amazon anyway. So if you do it through our website, you're helping out the show, and I really appreciate it. So I'm just going to get right into it here. We're going to go through a little bit of the highlights of some of these fun, fancy movies. And we're going to start with one of Nick's favorite movies. And it's all the way back to season 1 of SlashU, episode 4, Blood Diner. Here we go. I guess objective is to just set up the broad strokes of this movie so everybody understands what exactly is going on. Oh, there was a warning at the beginning when you watch this movie. Nick, do you want to?
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt.
This
is very important before we discuss the movie. This is a real warning. We also recommend watching the trailer before you find the trailer. This is on Hulu Plus. Yeah. Watch the trailer, and then this is the warning that precedes Is that precedes? Precedes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You got it.
Okay, cool. Right on. Kind of like the Star Wars.
He's a writer, ladies and gentlemen. Nick writes things.
Oh, shit. Thanks for bringing that up, brother. But it's like like you read the disclaimer. Hey, there you go.
That's a better way to put it, yeah.
So I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to try to do it in the voice, too. Try my best, Andy. Warning, the truly unusual motion picture you're about to see contains many scenes of graphic violence. It is not intended for the faint of heart, nor the young and impressionable. What is a sad fact that mass homicide practitioners of blood cults infest our society, the producers of this film wish to express that they do not condone nor that they want to inspire any of the human butchery or violence portrayed in this film. If you feel you'll be offended by such material, please leave the theater at once. All the mutations, bodily dismemberments, and cannibal rituals were performed by seasoned professionals. Please do not attempt any of these stunts at home. Thank you.
I think he meant mutilations.
What'd I say?
Mutations.
Mutilation, but still, you get the idea.
Yeah, this actually scrolls at the front, the head at the top of the movie.
And that's why we wanted to rewind before Andy got into the cheater's notes.
Yeah, Cliff's Notes, right. Okay.
Cliff Notes.
So this movie centers around 2 brothers, Michael Tutman and his brother George Tutman, who are brainwashed at a young age by their serial killer uncle, Anwar Namtut, which is just Tutman backwards, Namtut, into completing his task of resurrecting the ancient Lemurian goddess Sheetar. So it's Anwar's mission, and he basically passes it on to his nephews, which we'll get into. Their mission is given to them once they resurrect Anwar from the grave, which we're going to talk about in a second. Anwar is from then on a brain in a mason jar that commands his nephews, the brothers, Michael and George. In order to complete their mission, the brothers must collect different body parts from many immoral women, stitch them together, and call forth the goddess at a blood buffet with a virgin.
A blood buffet.
Yeah, blood buffet. And they need to have a virgin on hand to sacrifice, ready for this goddess to eat once they resurrect her. The brothers choose women for their blood buffet from those that enter into their wildly popular vegetarian restaurant. I'm going to put vegetarian in quotes. Meanwhile, the B story, 2 mismatched detectives work together to try to track them down before more carnage can ensue. The A story follows the brothers, and they are the opening scene of the movie is the little kids playing in the living room. according to the script of the movie, Nick and I don't approve of any of that.
Oh, hell no.
Calling
Come on
women
now.
skanks or sluts.
Dude, we're woke and fun.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, it is still something
We
funny to me.
respect women here.
It's just
You're gonna hear us call them chicks. I'm sorry.
sometimes I
It's gonna
know
happen.
it is bad,
But,
and
you know,
but
you
I
can
call
always
dudes-
just not listen, but we want you to
Well,
listen.
I mean, but it's also but it's the '80s, and so I mean, I say bloods, boobs, and dead bodies. I mean, it was a simple time in cinema.
we pick up with our B story with our police, our detectives.
Hold on,
trying.
we can't forget though, as they're getting the body parts.
Yeah.
What are the entrails and the other body parts used for? Tomorrow's veggie burgers.
Tomorrow's veggie burgers. They use the leftovers in their diner.
Yes, so all those naked aerobic. What Sheetar, the building of Sheetar doesn't use, right. They put in tomorrow's veggie burgers.
Right. Yesterday's meatloaf is today's sloppy Joe.
But I did like the nod to Point Break with that.
Yeah.
With the president mask.
So then our cops are trying to figure out the mass shooting at the Naked Aerobics, and Detective Mark Shepard says to his captain, it looks like someone had a do-it-yourself lunch meat party. And Captain Miller punches him in the stomach. Don't disrespect the dead. Chief Miller is kind of a bit of a reactionary.
Yeah, he punches Mark a lot. But Mark, and this is our New Jersey Urkel.
Yep.
Mark's also kind of like giving Sheba shit. Like, they first meet and...
At this scene.
Yeah, in this scene, he just decides to, like, what do you call this? What do you call that? Like
he licks his lips
licks
in a
his
sexy
lips,
way.
but very, like, not just
slowly.
Like you see on TikTok, these kids trying to be like, like, this is like...
It's not sensual at all. No.
Yeah, it's like trying to get out of Prince paper. Like, what's the sign? That's another Office reference.
Thank you.
There we go. But he really, like, and she's looking at him, because Sheba, in my opinion, is probably the most attractive. I thought she was very pretty and very elegant, and her acting probably wasn't the best, but again, we're talking about Blood Diner.
Right.
But I thought she
wasn't up for an Oscar.
I was pissed off at Mark for doing that to her.
He's a douche.
Yes, he is. Is down below.
It's a
I'm
monster.
But it's if they built the body parts, that means the aerobics girl that had the stomach had maybe it was where you have that surgery where you get your thing removed or whatever.
Appendix?
Appendix, yeah. So maybe that aerobics girl had an appendix scar and then they put it on Sheetar. Yeah. And then that appendix scar became a vagina with teeth.
Could be.
See, I'm pretty smart.
I think you are.
Thank you.
Yep. Nick, PhD. All right. How was that? Walk down memory lane, right? Boy, episode 4 of SlashU. Man, we were way tamer. Like, we were so tame back then. Trying to be all prim and proper, and Nick got really cinephile there when he was talking about the analogy of sewing together the ancient god Sheetar. Is that our psychological look at the perfect woman, and like Weird Science and all these other movies that do this, and Frankenstein, and we after this, a couple seasons later, we watched Frankenhooker, of course, is one of our movies. But next, we're going to move on to one of my favorites. Also, season 1 of SlashU, also a big blast from the past. Episode 14 of the podcast overall, The Mutilator. So I forgot to mention, you'll notice the little transitions here within different parts of the episode, just a little radio tuning sound effect I put in there. So let's take a listen to some of the highlights from The Mutilator here on SlashU.
Kill shots, great boob shots, boobies, which is part of, let's be honest, teen nudity is part of the genre that is the 80s slasher. So,
for sure. Yeah, if you don't see teen nudity, it's not a good movie.
Teen nudity.
And stereotypes. We get into some of those this week.
Definitely.
My God.
And we spoil, so I hope, if you want to watch the movie,
go watch it now.
Yeah, hit pause and come back and hang with us. But we don't really try to keep you in suspense. We just kind of go for it. Though, they don't really keep us in suspense as far as like the killer goes. We know who the killer is right away. Hell, it's in the fucking...
Right from the get-go.
Right from the get-go, we know who the killer is. He's
the Mutilator.
Or Michael Bolton, whatever.
Fall break.
Fall break. I think I have
catchy.
that. I'm going to put that on our social media.
It's very catchy.
Very catchy song.
Real quick for the music. Obviously, it's very important. Music is Michael Minard, Minard, Minard.
Ed.
I I ran that guy over 20 years ago. It was an accident.
No one sits.
And I decided I would put it in a frame.
What I mean, I know this is the '80s, but I still think that you would say like, "Hey, man, why would you frame a dead person?" And that dead person in the photo is actually the writer and director of this film, Cooper, I forget his name. Buddy Cooper. Thank you.
Fun
so
fact.
that's him in the photo. But again, when Andy and I know I say this a lot in our podcast, but we'll kind of discuss a little bit. But most of the time, it's just freestyle as we go. But
this isn't scripted? Just kidding. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's my dad. Like that, to me, that was like him just now realizing, holy shit, it's my dad. I thought it was
him seeing was this before he got chopped in half?
Yeah, because at that point, Pam gets the car started.
One more high five. That's good.
Cops are pulling up in the distance. Sirens. The cops are pulling up in the distance, and Pam throws the car in reverse with Big Ed hanging on the back. She backs up at full speed into a big old concrete or cinder block wall.
Yeah, but I don't know how before they should have at least made like, who is it? I don't know, sweetheart. Like, I don't know, Pam. I don't know, sweetheart. They should have gave some kind of acknowledgement that fucking Junior didn't know that was fucking his dad.
Right.
But this is my favorite scene.
Yeah.
They back him up
into the wall.
Well, Dad's chopped in half. They see cops. Hey, over here, we're getting fucked. Please help us. So a cop walks over, sees this dude that's chopped in fucking half. His lower body to his upper body is like
the cops like pull forward.
Yeah, and so there's two dead. I mean, it wasn't like they're kind of attached.
Nasty.
It is like 5 feet apart. Lower fucking dick fucking shit to titty shit. Like the dad.
His waist and his torso are 2 pieces.
But
the cop
dad
walks over.
The dad wakes back up, takes his battle axe, and chops the fucking cop's leg off.
The cop falls down, screaming and holding a stump of a leg.
He doesn't. But we don't call that as. I don't think he. I think he died. But I do have that too
and
on video.
That's when Big Ed finally dies.
Finally dies.
He's literally in 2 pieces.
He's in 2 pieces, but he still awakes.
And has the strength to swing that axe.
Yeah, I really want to post this on our social media because I think it's rad.
All right, so that was Mutilator, back episode 14 of SlashU. That was one of my favorite movies. And now we're going to move on to the next one of Nick's favorites. I hope you're enjoying this clip show so far. The next one that Nick told me was one of his favorites was Doom Asylum. That one was a ton of fun, and all the way back to season 3 of SlashU. Episode number 42 overall. So that's Doom Asylum. So let's listen to some highlights from that episode.
Yes.
So when you hear this,
it'll be
past versions of Nick and Andy are happy now, but the current present versions could either be really happy or kind of bummed at that point. I don't know.
Either them
made
or
made as much headway as me on the website. Right? God damn, life is busy. Much as you like it, but maybe I was just like bored with just how bad it was.
The kills were great, and of course the acting was fucking horrible.
Oh, it's the worst.
God, but it made me smile and giggle. This is a comedy horror. Let's just go ahead and get that
out of the
way.
It's billed as comedy horror.
It definitely is. I mean,
didn't find myself laughing very much.
The director, I think he kind of knew where he was going with
Richard
this.
Friedman.
Filmed in 8 days, one shot only. I mean, there was
it one?
No, not one shot. I mean, but filmed on one set.
Location.
One location.
It was filmed in an actual abandoned
in New Jersey.
In New Jersey, yeah.
Yep.
Richard Friedman also responsible, one of the writers. At the autopsy, he's taken to an asylum nearby, or local asylum, for the autopsy. And the medical examiners begin the autopsy only to discover that Mitch is actually still alive.
Yes, I got questions.
He wakes up, he kills the medical examiners, and then that's the beginning of the movie, and that's the setup. He then starts haunting, quote unquote, the asylum, making it his killing grounds.
That is, even though you didn't write them down, well set up.
That's the setup.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's a setup because the characters in this are vibrant.
After this, that's so weird. I understand the supportive boyfriend saying, "I'm here for you now. I'm a shoulder for you to cry on. You can lean on me for support."
Can I call you mom?
I love it. And she says, "Can I call you mom?" I would have said, like, that'd be a little weird.
A white a white woman is telling. Yes,
It's hilarious.
That's what I mean. This is 87.
People should just act how they are.
Yeah.
Why do you have to act a certain way? Just act how you are.
Exactly.
If that's you, that's you.
It's
You don't have to act a certain way because your skin's a certain color. Act how you are. You, Nick Bankhead, me, Andy Damos. We will act how we are. I'm not going to act like a white man because that's different for everyone. Or anyway.
What if I identified as a beer can?
Fine, act like one. It'll be a hell of a lot easier for me to host this thing. Boom! Punched! And that was some highlights from the Doom Asylum from SlashU. That was some fun stuff we had with that episode. There's a lot more. That whole episode is loaded with some fun jokes and making fun of that movie because holy cow, there's so much more I could have put in there. But in the interest of time, we're moving on. The next one's going to be another one of my favorites, and we're going to go all the way back to season 5 of SlashU, episode 95 overall, and this was right during the Christmas season. And this was a gem of a movie we found called Secret Santa. And that's going to go down as one of my top 3. So let's take a listen to some highlights from episode 95 of SlashU, Secret Santa.
Family love. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just go ahead and get to it.
Yeah.
2018, 1 hour, 28 minutes.
Secret Santa.
Make sure you get the 2018 version of the
Yeah.
Secret Santa. There's a 2016 Canadian film.
Don't watch that.
I
We might do
like-
it next
yeah.
year. But this is 2018.
God damn it, Andy. The Christmas spirit is alive in this one.
Directed by Adam Marcus.
Talking about it now.
I'm pretty pumped.
And she was also, I think, behind I think she was a writer on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, I believe. I'm not trying to speak out of turn here, but I know she's
We're not experts.
Right, yeah, we're not cinephiles. I believe that her character was a juxtaposition of hate and immoral constituities that, shut the fuck up.
But
Those dickheads that come to parties and you're just like, shut up.
We are going to spoil the entire movie. So
Yes.
if you haven't watched it, go do it. I assure you, you won't regret it.
I'm not. I mean, we make fun of films. Like, I'm going to make fun of, like, the fun of with the fun. Mm-hmm. So, before we get into it, I think it's time, and this will be fun,
Okay.
for Andy's Christmas Time Cliff Kill Notes, brought to you by Scooters.
Ooh.
If you want to ride something lame or really piss off skateboarders at the skate park, grab yourself a scooter. And now, it's time for Andy, Mr. Damos's Happy Holidays, motherfuckers! Cliff Kill Notes.
Thank you, Scooters. And sorry about the scooters at the skate park, bro. I know that hits home for you.
Fucking hate him.
It's Christmas, Nick, and you know what that means.
Woo!
Dysfunctional family gatherings. Today we're going to follow April as she is arriving back home to introduce her boyfriend Ty to the rest of her family. But this family has a whole host of problems, secrets, and lies. And they're all so selfish and full of spite that it's about to boil over into a murderous brawl. The fighting, Nick, is so over the top, you'd almost think someone spiked the punch.
Fucking shit movies we talk about character development, backstory, like.
And quick fucking one-liners, you
Yes.
know.
I mean,
there's a lot of jokes in this movie.
Yeah, it's something that I think this podcast, this episode 95, would have been 3 hours if we went through the whole movie and try to do a line for line kind of thing. But
Go watch it.
yeah, it's.
We also learned Jackson is their half brother.
Yep.
In this scene, everybody's greeting each other.
Yeah,
and,
Jackson grabs on Penny and goes, "I love my sister."
half sister.
Yeah, her sister.
Yeah, that's what he says. Quit being so homophobic, Mom. And yes, I am fucking this beautiful black man because I'm gay and I love black cock.
I love black
I can't get enough of it.
He's
You
jerking off.
homophobic whore. And he's doing the
I love black.
like he has a shake weight in both of his hands.
Yeah, he's got two big black cocks in his hand. Great scene, very funny, very
Wild.
very. I'm proud of Kyle in that moment to be able to come out to
And
Shari and the family.
Tell off his homophobic mom, who leans into Ty and says like, I'm not homophobic. I'm the most progressive person here. But isn't it enough with the F words already? And Ty's just like, yeah. She even says, like, isn't it enough with these F words already? All right. So that was Secret Santa, episode 95 of SlashU. I did not put nearly as many highlights as I could have. That's another one where we just went off on all kinds of crazy tangents. There's so much material that came from that movie. Great movie. I definitely recommend it. It's one of, obviously, my favorites. That's what we're doing here. Next up, we're going to hit Nick's last in his top 3. And of course, it's a movie we reference and talk about quite a bit on the podcast. It's episode 110, all the way back season 6 of SlashU, and it's Sweatshop. So let's take a listen to some of the highlights from Sweatshop. We spoil the whole movie. We're not experts.
We're getting there.
But, yeah, right.
By episode 150, we better be.
Amateur experts.
We're pro-ams.
Available on a lot of platforms, by the way. You watch it on Freevee.
Yeah.
There's Tubi, Plex, those free
The
platforms.
movie was 90 minutes. There was 20 minutes worth of commercials.
You can...
It really was. I timed it.
You can get it on Amazon Prime for $2.
I couldn't find it on Amazon Prime.
IMDb, owned by Amazon, I think, says it's available to rent or buy for $2.
Last night, I tried to rent it for $2, but it just sent me to Freevee.
Oh.
So,
well, I
but
watched
anyway,
it on Tubi
you can
twice.
get through the commercials. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
This one, I'm surprised no one's. You found it.
Yeah.
Like people are like Intruder. Like 20 years. Intruder was 1989. This is 2009.
Yep.
Like 20 years fucking later. I just can't wait to dive into it. There's really nothing to the story. It's really just about the kills. This movie is like if someone had a few bucks, a bunch of leftover ground beef, a ton of beet juice, and absolutely no writing skills. This would be the fucking movie they make.
Okay.
Pulls up outside the warehouse to investigate. I guess kids go there to do it.
He sees the car and realizes someone's trespassing in the building, and he utters, "Damn kids," and goes inside to find out who it is. There's some redneck country song playing on his radio, something about beans and rice.
Yeah, that's a famous jazz song, but then they added vocals to it. But beans and rice,
Really?
and rice,
You're fucking
everything.
with me.
No, I'm really not. Yeah.
Oh, well, it was interesting. Anyway, it makes no difference to the plot. He walks around asking who's there. You know, these kids. Why can't you kids go fuck in the church?
I thought that was a weird line. Like, why don't you kids go fuck behind the grocery store? Why don't you guys go fuck behind the post office?
Yeah.
There's a
Can't you guys fuck in your basement?
Yeah, can't you guys? But so the first, I guess there's a church you could fuck in this town.
I guess so.
That's a kind of religion that I'd pray to.
Yeah, there you go. So
But
he's
he really is a
wandering
Barney Fife. Just I want to like the country music
Who's
was important.
there?
Yeah, hey, I'm a. You know, so he's walking around this dilapidated warehouse, looking for what he thinks is trouble.
In the welding helmet, and Lolly, definitely dead, is my dick kill shot of the week. Dick kill shot of the week.
Dick shot, kill of the
Dick
week.
shot kill of the week.
Oh my god! Okay,
So nasty.
I was like, holy shit! She was disintegrated by really just by a bunch of pulling and groping.
Yeah.
She is now nothing. Quick story: Andy watched this movie, and we always will give each other
I
a
watched
text.
a few nights ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but usually we'll just text and go like, "Hey, what's up? Fucking sucks, bad." You know, we won't spoil or anything, but just kind of let the other know that we watched it.
Yeah.
No spoil. You called me, and I
called
was like,
you.
and I missed the call because I was at a meeting. But then I saw I missed your call, so I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And you just wanted to talk about the movie. I'm like, "Okay, cool. This is rad." You were telling me how
Yep.
fucking crazy, it got, and I was like, "Okay, is that it?" And you're like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't put it in
I
text."
think we're gonna like this one.
So-
I said, yeah, a text wouldn't do justice. I need you to feel me. You know,
Yeah.
hear my enthusiasm over a phone call.
Before this kill, and I
Very
was
old
watching it.
school, I know, to call you, but hey.
No, but what I mean is like after I was watching it, before I was watching it, it really is nothing before this.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Andy was fucking with me, and even Jody was like, "Yeah, he's fucking with you."
And then you got to this.
And then I got to this, and then I went, "Okay." There's no way they can just make it lame now. I feel like we're just getting pushed forward. And
Because
that's what we are.
I was playing volleyball. My volleyball season started, and I was playing. And Nick sent me between games. I checked my phone, and there was a text from Nick said, "Are you fucking with me?" And right after that was, "Never mind."
Yeah. That's the truth. His face and his nose and his hair.
Oh, God.
It's probably just a wig and some spaghetti noodles.
Doesn't matter.
But
Still disgusting.
It is. And so, again, the chase is on. And as Jane runs away, the demon chicks, his assistants, are running after him. She makes it to a service elevator.
Yeah, like a freight elevator.
But is it are those grates? What do you call those like that really thin wire?
The door itself?
Yeah,
it's almost like a mesh. Like a mesh door that you gotta drag closed.
I just wish I could put a visual for our audience, but I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I did take a video of this to share on our social media.
It's like a honeycomb texture or pattern to it, where she's just able to close the freight elevator with that.
Yeah, you can use your fingertips to get it.
Yeah,
it will be on our social media if you're listening.
Hope we don't get banned. Intense scenes of violence. So.
But is it really? Because I want to get. She makes it to this elevator. She closes this grated door. I just think it not like grate, like cheese grate, but it's like it's cold.
Not solid, but I know what you're saying.
God, I just wish I could explain it to the readers.
It's all right.
The readers,
the listeners.
Thank you. I'm only on my third
with
video. And as she closes it down, she thinks she's safe because she's looking for those fucking weird assistants. But the beast,
he's in the elevator with
he's
her.
in the elevator.
And he kills her.
Well. Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, let's keep going. No, when I saw the grates, Andy, I knew right away. First watch, I was like, this is definitely going to be used. He kind of toys with her like a cat does, like a little mouse.
Yeah,
like holds her, smacks her head against the inside of the elevator. That's not really toying, torturing her, I should say. But then throws her to the ground. She's not dead. She slowly gets up, crawling, and uses the grated door to kind of,
pull herself up.
So it's like think about this. Think about what you're about to see as a human strainer. Because then the beast grabs his fucking Thor hammer, just fucking swings it on her, and she just turns into ground beef and mush. I mean, it is just pushed out the grated
gore, brain and blood,
like what the Play-Doh things, like where you fucking
through the door. Out the other side.
I will post this after this episode, so it's going to be next week sometime.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're listening to it now. I will probably post it Tuesday or Thursday.
So gross.
Very unique kill, though. Even though I knew it was going to happen first watch, Andy, this is when I'm really starting to get excited.
Yes.
I am really, when I saw this kill, even though it was going to happen, like I knew it was going to be utilized, I was like, this is fucking rad.
All right. Those were some highlights from Sweatshop, episode 110 of SlashU, season 6. Great movie. Excellent movie. Go back and listen to the full episode as well. That's another one we had tons of fun talking about all the cool stuff that happens in that movie. Really a good time, Sweatshop. And we continue to reference it to this day simply because of how unique and gory the kills were. So we're going to move right on into our very last of each of our top 3. Let's just recap really quick. Nick's top 3 favorite movies are Blood Diner, Doom Asylum, and Sweatshop. And out of me, Andy, we've gotten Mutilator and Secret Santa. And the third one we're going to cover, that's in my top 3, is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. It's from season 8 of SlashU, so the season we're on right now, actually, as I record this. It's episode 137 overall. We did it earlier this year. 2024, as you hear this, we recorded this in 2024. And this one was really cool because it's kind of an outside look at slasher movies in general. It's a documentary style film where they were following around Leslie Vernon, a guy who's aspiring on the rise to be a killer. Well, I'll just let the clips explain most of it to you, but this was one of my favorites simply because of how creative it was. So let's go ahead and listen to some highlights from Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, episode 137 of SlashU.
In fact, this movie is like if Chris Hansen wanted to talk to serial killers instead of pedophiles.
Okay.
Oh, and he was a young girl. This is what that movie's like.
All right, I get it.
You kind of get it?
I understand where you're going.
So there's so much to talk. Oh, one more question for you,
Sure.
Andy. If you could have a serial killer mask, because this mask in this for Leslie Vernon has a pretty cool mask.
He does, yes.
What would your mask be? Like mine would be like, I think I would be like an evil, like I would wear like I don't know. What would yours be? Do you know?
I was thinking that we have this devil head in the studio.
Yeah.
Might be something that takes some elements from that with maybe like a clown.
Ooh. That's fucking rad.
I like the clown, the doll up there in the corner.
Doll, yeah. The old ventriloquist doll from 1974.
I've always thought that something that looks maniacally happy is makes for some of the scariest masks.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
there was that one, the drive-through burger one that we did.
Yes,
that was
just called Drive-Through.
Yeah, Drive-Through.
Yeah.
Thank you. God, I can remember that movie.
Yeah, but like Pennywise the clown.
Yeah.
In It, the newest, the remake of It. I know it's not a mask, but that is some that face. To Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård.
Amazing job. Just the fucking maniacal smile. That gets me. So.
I think mine is like the playful, like anime, like like animation, like so maybe like a
like a cartoony type.
Yeah, like an evil unicorn. Like with an evil unicorn with fangs, dude. Yeah. That's it. That's what I would be.
All right.
An evil unicorn with fangs.
Well,
hey,
we're gonna get behind that mask.
Yes, let's get behind that mask with Leslie Version as we jump in Andy's Cliff Kill Little Notes. Brought to you by Applesauce. If you want something tasty for dessert, or you want to call your partner a fun new nickname, choose Applesauce. And now, Andy's Cliff Kill Little Notes.
Thank you, my little applesauce.
Hey!
All right. The Cliff Gill Notes, a brief summary of the movie so you can follow along with us. This one's a good one to follow along, or go out and watch it. I watched it on Amazon Prime. I think it was like $4 to buy. Directed by Scott Glosserman. Nice job, Scott. Killers like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers are legendary names in the small town of Glen Echo. You see, in this movie universe, all of those killers are real, and the movies that we all know and love were actual events for the purposes of this film. A new killer named Leslie Vernon is dead set on joining those legends on the Mount Rushmore of slashers.
Good.
But Leslie needs to get his story off on the right foot if he hopes to become a household name that's simultaneously feared and infamously admired. So, he's invited a grad school documentary crew to follow him around, get a peek behind the planning, scheming, and preparation that all of our favorite slashers have to go through to make it big. Will the name Leslie Vernon end up spoken in the same company as Freddy, Jason, and Michael? Or has Leslie figured out a new approach to the classic slasher formula? Find out today on SlashU.
Little long, but that was one of your best intros ever.
Because I liked this movie. I wanted to give it some
you
love.
really did. You really did. I could see you like taking some tissue to go watch this movie privately.
I like it in a sexual way, but
sorry, that made me
I just enjoyed it for what it was.
No, I liked it.
It's not gonna usurp The Mutilator, but it's definitely in my top 5.
I mean,
it's the same kind of story you hear in so many other movies.
Oh my God.
They were upset, so they killed him, and now he's back for revenge.
The first story you hear about it, though, like where townspeople take revenge, in my opinion, is Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Where the townsfolk are like, we're going to kill this monster, and only want to,
that's a commentary on people being afraid of what they don't understand.
Because yes.
The monster's innocent.
Yes.
He's just afraid of fire. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
He's just trying to exist. He was created. He didn't ask to be here.
That story makes me sad.
And the
now.
townspeople.
It's not scary. So why is Frankenstein used as something like scary, like Halloween? Frankenstein's scary. No, Frankenstein's a gentle sweetheart who I want to kiss.
First of all, Frankenstein is the doctor.
Oh yeah, sorry, the monster. Yeah, I know that's.
I know. I gotta be
coming.
that guy to point that out.
No, it's like. I love that guy, Jethro Tull.
You're
Jethro
talking
Tull
about
is a band.
Frankenstein's monster.
No, I dig it, but
and they're not the Foo Fighters. It's just Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Why do you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway?
I don't know. Who closes the door when the bus driver gets off? Only Kelly can go in the tool shed later. Anyone else who goes in the tool shed, they're going to get it with a post hole digger.
Yep.
Foreshadowing. And when we see in his story when Kelly goes in the tool shed, it's a pivotal moment when she starts to turn a corner into empowerment. It's symbolic. She's empowering herself with cock.
Yeah, because the whole point of this, I'm going to keep going the story. It's great.
Yeah.
The whole point of this is to whittle it down to just Kelly.
Got to be Kelly and Leslie. And Taylor doesn't buy this. Like, what do you mean empowering herself? with cock. He's like, think about it. Go back, research all the women who survived all those other events. None of them did it with a dinky little gun. They grabbed an axe or a shovel or something phallic. And she's like, so you're not only pro-life, you're a chauvinist.
I thought that was good.
And yes, he says, ultimately, Kelly will reach for my weapon because she'll be taking my manhood and empowering herself with it.
Yes.
So he's rigged all the tools, though, in the tool shed. He cut the axe handle so it'll really only survive one swing before it breaks. He loosened the sledgehammer head so that'll break. The pickaxe, he whittled that down so they only get one good swing and the tool breaks. He says, he talks about how, let's just hope it's not a lucky swing, you know?
Yeah, and it's great. That was well said because instead of us going back and forth, like that was.
Yeah.
If you need to, rewind that. That is exactly how it's set up.
Well, then they talk about the exits.
Because they also talk about, though, Taylor brings up, it seems like cheating. What you're doing. And he's like, no. It's preparation.
Statistically, I'm at a disadvantage here.
Yeah.
I'm one guy and there's 8 of them. This is all preparation. He talks about the windows on the lower floor. He's nailed them all shut. Taylor goes, how come they don't just smash them out? And he goes, you'd think they would, but they don't. He's like, the windows that they smash out are always on the second floor. And he said, up on the second floor, you smash out those windows, and you come outside and you're on the roof. You're screwed. I've cut all of the major branches off of the trees.
So they can't climb down.
And all of the smaller branches, I've cut them most of the way. So as soon as you step on it, you fall. He's like, so he's rigged all the trees for climbing out. But I just thought it was really funny when he just said the lower windows are all nailed shut. And she's like, why don't they just smash them out? And he goes, you'd think they would, but they never do. Which is, again, just... let's go back and watch any other movie. And like, how come they don't just smash that window?
Yeah.
The window's stuck. Just fucking smash it. But anyway.
But isn't this where the scene comes to life? Like where where they're showing it, what he just explained. They're showing it from a cinematic viewpoint.
Yeah.
An actual movie, so cinematic.
Yeah, while he's explaining everything, it's still doing the Ocean's 11 like
with the
cutaway of what's really going to happen.
Yeah, because the stoners...
Right.
The 2 kids that they discover are dead. So the stoners, Kelly and her boy toy, try to escape.
They're gonna freak out and go out to the car.
Yeah.
It won't start. That's when he kills the kid who's trying to start the car. He walks Taylor throughout where it goes next, because if they can't start the car, they won't run back in the house. They'll run to the barn. And in the barn, he's got more bodies hid, assuming... she just says, like, assuming they'll run to the barn. He's like, no, they will. There's no assuming.
She takes
It'll
us
happen.
over there, doesn't she? She's
yeah,
like, do you
they go over to the barn.
And she's like, and he's like, what? Do you know what's going to happen next, Taylor?
Right.
She's like, yeah. Right? Isn't this where she kind of takes over the story?
Yeah.
And she's like...
They pick them off one by one in the barn.
Yeah, and he's like, wait, didn't you forget something?
Dr. Halloran.
Dr. Halloran. So they kind of rewind it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, he'll show up.
Yeah.
And they'll have their showdown.
Of good and evil, but eventually Dr. Halloran will die.
And then it'll be only Kelly left.
Yeah, and then like she'll run off into the orchard.
The orchard.
Orchard.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's pronounced orchard.
Orchard. Where she has to take control
If the
of her own
closet
destiny.
represents the womb, what does the orchard represent?
The birth canal?
The birth canal. Correct. Wow, way to go, Taylor. You're getting this.
She has to take control of her own destiny.
She's being reborn into a survivor, hell-bent on revenge. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is so appropriate. There's so many other movies where that happens, where the female character goes from, wimpy little girl who's afraid of a mouse to, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass.
All the time.
It always happens.
They're dirty. They take off half their clothes.
We saw it happen in Hatchet.
Yes.
We saw it happen. You've seen Jamie Lee Curtis do it in Halloween. I mean, all right. So that's enough of the highlights from Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, episode 137 of SlashU. In the interest of time, this is going to be the end of our episode. I really appreciate everybody tuning in for a special episode of Nick and Andy's top 3 each of our top 3 movies that we've watched and a walk down memory lane of some of the older episodes of SlashU for sure. We've done so many. Stay tuned. Next time you tune in, we're watching from 2023 Pillow Party Massacre. And oh my gosh, I already watched it once. I got to watch it again and take notes, but it's a doozy. We're gonna have some fun with that one. So tune in and watch Pillow Party Massacre. But thanks everybody for being here this week. Follow us on Instagram at @SlashU_podcast. Email us slashupodcast@gmail.com. Check out slashupodcast.com and click buy stuff and buy whatever you're going to buy anyway on Amazon and help support the show. We really appreciate everybody listening. Until next time, class dismissed.
2, 1, 0.